Driving license. The license which every teens want because they think it's cool and they can pick up their friends without begging their parents. And trust me, as a teen, as an 18-year-old teen, I do not like picking up my friends because I'm bad at driving. Before the whole video starts, I want to do a basic briefing that in my country, Malaysia, in order to get this license, you need to go through a variety of tests, which are the computer test, the leta test, which I have no idea what is it called, but basically you just do all the ramp tests. You go up a hill, you go to a ramp, you go like the S thingy, and after that can you only do the road tests. And for me today, I'm only going to talk about the D license, which stands for a license where you can only drive vehicles not exceeding the weight of 3,500 kilograms, which is perfectly fine for me because I have a tiny car. And yes, I got my license about a month ago, but let me tell you something. As a short person which is 5 feet tall, driving is not fun at all. Look at my eyes, it's not fun because I have an abnormally weird body proportions and I have a longer waist, shorter legs, and I can't see the bump sometimes, causing me to go like literally, and the one sitting back literally just like hates me when I'm driving, so sorry to those at the back. Okay, so back to the main point. Before you start driving, you need to like attend some of these, like these one courses called undang-undang, which is the rules of the roads. Like, I don't know whether is it a thing, like I just made it up, sorry, but it's like you need to know these rules, what those signs mean before you can drive. And like when I registered for that course, the receptionist told me that I need to be there on 8 a.m. in the morning, but instead of 8 a.m. the instructor actually reached there at around 11 a.m. And trust me, I feel so stupid for going at 8 a.m. because I completely forgot the point where I live in Malaysia and we have this special kind of timing here in Malaysia where we people ask our friends to meet at 12 p.m. where we only wake up at 11:59 a.m. Okay, so on that day, the teachers actually distributed some things. Actually not some, it's just a recycle bag and this manual, this book. And trust me, this book ain't cheap at all. Like, I don't know how much does it cost, but yeah, it ain't cheap. And at first, I thought that you need to study the whole book in order to pass that computer test, but I was wrong. I was so wrong, because like later do I know there's this JPJ test app, like it's literally called JPJ test, and it's an app filled with a bunch of questions, like 90% similar to the questions, like the exam questions that they'll give when you sit for the computer test to get the L license, which is this license. Yeah, and this cost me like $100 if I'm not mistaken. So driving ain't cheap at all. After I got my L license means that I can drive. And before going to the test, the real test, we need to go for like this 7 driving lessons in order to learn how to drive, how the car functions and all yada yada yada. And the first day was actually kind of fun because the instructor was super nice. He was super patient. Like, oh, by the way, we have different instructors every day. So yeah, I don't know why, but let's call the first instructor Ahmad. So Ahmad was actually super friendly, and he taught me like step by step, and he was kind of humorous as well. And yeah, the first day was perfectly fine. And the second day was a whole new story. I wore track bottoms, and I completely forgotten that in my country, wearing track bottoms to driving school is actually not allowed. And for some reasons I don't know, like if there's someone watching this, please tell me why. I mean, if there's even someone watching this, but tell me why can't I wear track bottoms to driving schools? I mean, it's long, it covers my knees and calves, but why can't I? And like after this, those like instructors, like all the instructors started giving me those looks, like those angsty looks, which I'm not really comfortable with it. And like one instructor even told me that I'm going to fail my driving test because of me wearing these track bottoms. And I was a sensitive child, and I was like just not in a good mood that day, and the driving lessons didn't go well. I keep making mistakes, and the third day was pretty pretty bad as well, because I am a slow learner, and the third day I keep forgetting the steps in driving. And the third day instructor even called me a matsali because I keep driving on the right lane, which is wrong in the Commonwealth countries, because we drive at the left lane in the Commonwealth countries. Yeah, I think so. And at that moment, I don't even know what matsali means, but I just think it's kind of funny overall. So I just laughed and like, ha 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 ha. And the instructor was just like looking at me, and we just like laughed together. And later do I know, matsali actually means white. Yeah. Yeah, the fourth day. And the fourth day, the day where I got onto the road for the first time. And on that day, I was actually super pumped and like sad at the same time, because I screwed up my third lesson, and I thought like, fuck, I'm going to the road right now, and am I ready yet? Am I like allowed to do that when I have these bad driving skills? Will accidents happen? But no, it was actually kind of fun driving on the roads, and it was actually kind of easy compared to the first 3 lessons where you only drive in the driving school, like where you learn to go on bumps, where you learn to go up a hill and stuff. And on the day where I go onto the road for the first time, the teacher, the instructor asked me to go like 80 miles per hour, and I was like, what, 80? And like, because I was driving at a pace of 40 miles per hour, and I was like, whoa, this was so fast. And I didn't expect that the instructor would ask me to drive like 80 miles per hour. So I was like super shocked, but I did it anyways. And surprisingly, I drove us back to the driving school safely without getting any injuries, any scars, and paying any hospital bills after this. So my confidence kind of gained back up a little. And for the fifth day was actually kind of normal, nothing happened, but there was this conversation I had with this instructor named we'll just call him Bakar. I kind of forgot his and this Bakar asked me whether do I like guys with beards, and at that moment I was actually driving, like I was actually doing the S route, and the teacher was just like, I was like what, and the teacher was like, hey, do you like guys with beards and mustache? I was like, what? And I just gave him an answer like, I don't know, I don't have a boyfriend before. And like deep down I was yelling that I am more interested in girls. But yeah, I didn't say it out to him, and I was like, we just laughed away from this question. The 6th and 7th day was actually quite normal and nothing much happened, so we'll just skip through the 8th day, which is the big day, obviously, the day I got my driving license. So on that day we actually like arrived there at 8 a.m. sharp, and after I arrived there, we did the RPK test where I told the markers where the name of the components of the car, because they really wanted us to know like which part is which and wanted us to know everything about that car. So yeah, I did it, and I think I did a pretty great job at it. And after that I did my road test where this one marker, and actually he was kind of like, he had this like mad face. I don't know why, but I was kind of scared at him. And on that day, I still remember it was like 30 or 32 degrees Celsius, but my palms were sweating, and when I was driving, when I was doing the road test, it feels like negative 30 degrees Celsius. So yeah, and it didn't went that well, but I'm a Gen Z, and us Gen Zs can pull through anything. Okay, so after that I did my ramp test, my hill test, my like little obstacles test, I can speak, little obstacles test, yeah, obstacles. And yeah, it went really well, I think. And after that I still don't have the enough confidence in like getting a P, which means pass. And after the test, I just went back to the lobby where everyone gathers there and waiting, and where we wait for the guy to announce whether do we pass. And like I was so afraid that I might fail, so I just waited until the guy called me, and surprisingly I passed, and I was like super happy because I don't think I did a good job in the road test, but unexpectedly I passed and got my P sticker, which we need to like stick it on the back and front of our car. Yeah. And after getting the P, I just live happily ever after until college hits. Okay. And like after that I did like pull a tiny prank on my mom and telling her that like I failed my driving test because I'm a teen who loves to play with feelings. And this is probably the end of my video. Hopefully you guys like it. I mean, I don't even know whether is there someone watching this video, but hopefully there is, and hopefully people watching this like it. So yeah, toodles.